Test, 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 test.
Yes, sir.
Bro.
Don't look too close at her or we'll fall into the
All right.
perpetual hole. Don't look too close at her or we'll fall into the perpetual hole. I feel the echo already.
Test, test. Test, test.
What's up?
I'm not on.
Your mic's not on?
There we go. Test, test. Got you, bro. Test, test.
Your mic's not on?
Should I bleep out Buddy Guzzi or no? All right. I'm with my guy Richards from Sacktown Royalty.
Yes, sir.
Kings win today. They are undefeated in November. How do you feel?
Wait, they're undefeated in
Yeah,
November?
they are.
Is that true?
That's true. 4-0, man.
Wow. Yeah, I mean,
On
that's...
U.S. soil.
Okay.
I'm just saying, though. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to see all the positives out of the last 5 games, you know?
Yeah, it's got to be encouraging because if the Kings came out tonight, lost without Darren Fox, without Marvin Bagley, no one would have blamed them, right?
I would have. Because before the game, I said, you know what? FIBA Bogey is coming out. He's going to flourish in the next 5 weeks. Because I have a bias towards him. And, you know, I just believe in this game. I believe in his playmaking ability. And I said, as soon as Fox went, I said, this may be a blessing in disguise for Bogdanovich. And not to say that I want Fox to get hurt by any means, but I'm just saying I think this team can win games without Fox because in his new role, you're going to see a lot of what you saw tonight. He's their best playmaker. You know what I'm going to say right now? I think he's their best player, period.
Whoa.
I think Bogey's our best player.
You think that Bogdanovich is the best
Player
Sacramento,
on the Kings.
and you're not saying just of the healthy players.
I think he's their best player.
So Bogey's better than Fox, better than Bagley,
Today,
better
yes.
than Buddy.
Today.
Okay.
I think he's the most complete player. He gives the Kings the playmaking, but he also gives them the clutch gene, which not many players have. And for that alone, I feel like, as he said after the game, he said, you know what? I'm a veteran. I have experience. I've done this, been there, done that. We all struggle. The NBA is a league that goes up and down. The Blazers have lost, 5 of the last 6. Kings have won 4 of the last 5.
Yeah.
It's just what the NBA is, right?
I respect you.
Right.
I do. I respect you. I respect that take. No, I'm not even saying that to preface an insult.
Right.
I respect that take.
Right.
It's a take that is unpopular. I think that I mean he's if you take out Atlanta game, he played really poorly to start the season. Truly poorly. Facts. He played great over the summer. We get that, but that's not
call guys out. But I just feel like he's been terrible all season long, and tonight he hit probably the biggest shot of the game, right? But previously, before all that, I thought he was terrible. He had a lot of turnovers and shots that he doesn't take because he's afraid and he's not confident in his jump shot. Kings can't have those type of guys on the floor, period. You need to come in here, shoot the ball. Yogi come in here, and you saw the difference when Yogi came into the game. And I hope fans saw it tonight.
Yeah, I can understand that. I think that Joseph had a tough game tonight. I think that he's had a tough season,
Right.
a tough integration into the team.
Yes.
I think that he's a good player. The shooting does absolutely limit him, but I was pretty concerned with Bogdanovich because I felt like he does too much. We've talked about it before. You and I have talked about it before. Everyone's talked about it. Everyone knows it. He can over dribble. He can force stuff. He can force shots. He can force passes. And I think when he's the only playmaker on the court, it's a problem. We've noticed that Luke Walton is not bringing Bogey off the bench first. He's not serving in that traditional 6-man role. It's going to be Ariza or at times Joseph. And then usually Bogey's the 8th guy on the court for the Kings. And it tends to be because he wants to have Fox come off of that time, not need that redundancy of Fox and Bogey, and then Bogey becomes the primary playmaker, primary initiator. And to me, it's been too much. Where I think Joseph, I know it's not working just yet, but I think that's gonna help him when Bogey gets caught, where he gets caught in that hero mode where he's over dribbling. That he's got another guy that can do that for
Which
him.
I feel like Corey does a lot of. He dribbles.
He does it too.
Lot.
But they can't both do it at the same time.
I know. The other difference is he's not a threat out there, and I hate to say it like that. Like it sounds
offensively,
like I'm just bashing him, but he's just not a threat. And Bogey is at all times. You have to stay home on Bogey. Same with Buddy. Buddy can go 0 for 10. You're still gonna have to respect his shot, and it's like the Steph Curry effect. The fact that he's out there, his presence alone, garners you to actually guard the guy. Bielitsa, the same way. These guys are threats, and I just feel like if Yogi's out there, can't leave him open, period. And he's going to push the pace, he's going to push the ball, and that's what this team needs. So I would like for Corey to stay on the bench and come on with Yogi, with Bogey, and then start Farrell next game.
Okay, so I was going to ask you if you want to see Bogey start at point guard.
Or that. I mean, that's what I thought they were going to do tonight. But I also understand what Luke is saying, because if he doesn't come off the bench, where's the scoring going to come from?
With the bench unit?
Right. So I do get what he's doing and just keeping it the way it is. But if you're going to do that, you might as well keep it the way it was, right? With Corey and Bogey, and just get that nice offensive touch or start, sorry, because tonight they had a tough start. It was sloppy that first quarter. They just couldn't hit a shot.
It was a bad first quarter.
For both teams.
For both teams,
For both teams.
But
I feel like Yogi can come in here and give him that spark right off the jump. Just like a Holmes deal, kind of like I'm going to bring the energy, and then I'm going to bring AKA our best player off the bench.
I will agree with half of that and disagree with the other. I'll say that I agree that Joseph should not start.
Right.
But I will say I think it should be Bogey, not Yogi. I know we're going to get caught up in the Ogies, but because then Yogi, can you start with like basically no defense?
People say he don't play defense.
I'm sorry, he can't.
Every time
He's too small.
watch him play, he stays in front of his guy. No?
No.
Is it just me seeing things?
You can stay in front of him,
right.
But if you're too small, if you're not long enough, strong enough to affect the shot.
He's definitely strong enough.
I mean,
he's definitely strong enough. There's no way you can take that from the guy. The kid is strong.
I don't mean in terms of like his physical, necessarily his strength, but his ability to hold up. Like, he's not going to slow down Damian Lillard. Like, you're really going to start Yogi Ferrell on Damian Lillard? I think that Bogey's got a lot of a bigger, stronger frame, longer.
He's longer.
He can put more of a hand in the face. I think he's got a better chance of holding him up if Dame's trying to
But is your goal to
penetrate.
Block shots as a perimeter defender? No. I think your goal is to stay in front of guys, and Yogi does a great job at that.
That's not the only goal, though. Just to stay in front of the dude?
No one on his team can stay in front of anybody. They're all slow laterally, and Yogi is the only guy that I've seen personally that can go through screens, just fight laterally, and I don't know why people bash his defense so much. I feel like
it's
most guys are bad on this team defensively.
So I'll double down. I think the strength, I think the length, I think those are issues. But the real issue comes on the switch, because that's gonna happen. You're not gonna get 48 minutes of basketball where your point guard's guarding their point guard. So that's where it's like, you know what I mean?
I'm not concerned, right? And that's my concern too. But at the same time, it's like, okay, but you got to guard him on the other side too. And with Corey, I feel like you don't have to guard him. Honestly, no disrespect to him, but
you can definitely just slack off Corey. Yeah. I get that.
So, and Corey, honestly, I don't think he's been impressive that much on defense. I know he's a pest, and he's known. That article came out in Bleacher Report that he was the #1 defensive rated point guard, right?
Kojo?
Corey Joseph at his position, I believe, before the year started. But contextually speaking, they didn't take into account that he plays against the backup point guards and all those stats.
Okay, I know that. I don't know what that was referring to, but I know by there's a defensive BPM, which is like the ESPN's bespoke stat. It was 4th last year, so I don't know if they're referring to projections or what have you.
He was rated #1, and I like that he tries very hard on defense, but I don't think he's that. Like, he's just not that guy. Like, I don't think he's Drew Holiday. I don't think he's Lonzo Ball. I don't think he's any of these great perimeter defenders. if that makes sense. Frenemy rate number 1, according to the stats, is kind of it's a little outlier. You know, I feel like the stats a little lying a little bit, just a little bit. He's not bad. I
That's
mean,
fair.
but you can't get much worse than what the guys on this team are. I mean, Bogey, Buddy, they're all challenged defensively.
So do you think that the drop off between from Corey Joseph to Yogi Ferrell, you don't think
I
it's
don't think it's
big?
big, and because he
I think it's big.
and because he
Let's go on
doesn't
the record.
output. I know that's fine. You guys let me know what you guys think. Because he doesn't output much offense, I think it's just like, bro, you either have to be a lockdown defender. I mean, elite for me to keep you on the floor. Like the guy, like Andre Robertson. Like those days where you gonna play off him, but he's what he's gonna give you on this end.
Poor Andre Robertson hasn't been on the court in like 3 years now. Poor guy. I get what you're saying, but so we don't need to get bogged down into how big of the gap is there. But why not just go Bogey at that point? I feel like that's the clear, obvious choice. Bogdanovich, 25 points, 10 assists, 4 steals. That's offense, defense, passing.
I don't know if he's gonna
Plus
continue
11.
to give you all that defense, just realistically speaking.
Really? Okay. And you think that Yogi's a better option
Than
just
Corey,
to start? No. I'm saying if we're gonna
start.
if we're gonna have a new starter, if you could choose the starter for the next game,
If
in
I
a
could choose, I'd
hypothetical
go
world.
Bogey, but I do understand the mindset that Luke is having, because again, that bench is gonna be bad. If
I mean,
Bogey starts.
but Yogi can be that offensive spark plug. So like I've expressed my concerns about his defense.
Yeah.
But like you said, I mean, guy
And
can
if he's
put
getting
points on the
killed
board.
defensively and he's not giving anything on offense, then you pull him out.
Right. I think that's fine.
I think Corey's not going to give you anything. Like, I'm just so.
You are attacking Corey Joseph right now.
I am, and it's nothing against him. Like, dude's a great dude. Yeah. Great veteran, and as the guy said, I mean, he's him, and I think it was Bogey that said him and Belly are the 2 biggest veterans on his team. Like, they're pros, playoff experience. Absolutely. But at the same time, it's like, man, like that was how many years ago? I don't know. I mean, he played for the Pacers last year.
Yes.
So I'm just not. I haven't been impressed in his first 10 games.
That's
like
fair.
If he was locked down, I'd be like, okay, he's really good. I can't afford to not have him on defense, but he hasn't been locked down.
So defense. I mean, I think defense is such a team reliant thing. So like coming from the Pacers, who I feel like have a very cohesive defensive team scheme, and like guys like Thad Young, who was there last year, like they had an identity defensively. Miles Turner, there to clean up down low. Like I mean, if you even, I think that a lot of guys don't even want to really get past Corey, because if they do, Miles Turner is going to be there. So
you don't have that 30-year. I mean, Holmes gives you a little bit of that, but not like Miles.
A little bit. What do you think of Holmes so far, and what do you think about Dedmon and the Harry Giles minutes?
That last time that we had you on, we talked about Holmes inserting into the lineup. We did the following game, and he's never gotten back. Like literally, like he's been playing really well.
Remind me, did we say we said start Holmes?
We
at
said
that point.
We're not trading Bogey for Steven Adams. So all the people that were like, remember that? We were like, oh, like what?
Yeah, that would be insane.
So today I was sitting down, I'm like, here's to all the people that kept saying trade Bogey.
Yeah,
like, come on.
That was the game that you and I said we wanted to see Holmes put in the starting lineup, and then he was, yeah. So look it's going to happen again. We want Bogey in the starting lineup. America.
Bogey, yeah, absolutely.
Bogey.
Again, but do you see some type of sustainability with that second unit if you take Bogey out of that? Because you're missing Fox and you're missing Bagley.
I think there will be a problem with the starting unit, and there will be a problem with the bench unit. One or the other. I'd rather it be my bench unit. I just would.
So you're saying win the first, win the third, and the rest will take care of itself.
I mean, Bogey can play a lot of minutes. I mean, he can play. I'm fine. I'm comfortable with having Bogey in there 30, 35 minutes, depending on if it's close down the line. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with. It's gonna be tough. Maybe you got to stagger Bogey and Buddy a little bit more, just so that like more often than not one of them's on the floor.
Right.
But I'm not like that concerned. I mean, how many minutes are you like truly in your second unit in a game? I'm not like that worried about it. Not as much as I am about having like the way that this team came out in the first half of the first quarter, and looked really flat.
So Harry Giles, his first game back was against Atlanta. Played really well. Had brilliant moments. Had those moments where you're like, oh my gosh, this is the guy that came out of his number one rated guy out of high school. Everyone's going on about him. Tonight,
that fella,
he came in and we had a great reaction from the crowd. I mean,
huge.
He can do no wrong.
And he got the post game interview on the court here. Everyone
just
loves
about
this dude.
Harry and what you know. It's not fair to grade him on 2 games, but are you excited? Are you looking forward? Do you think he's going to be a great help to this team?
I live for Harry Giles minutes.
I forgot. Yeah, I remember. He gave
That's
you the jersey,
me, man.
right?
I
wedding?
So I got married in a Harry Giles jersey. That's a fact.
There it is.
I mean, you can't throw your chips down harder. You may, I mean, like you may be throwing down for Yogi a little bit right now.
I am.
I threw down in a big way for Harry Giles, and you know, just to clarify on that a little bit, it's because you know I think first of all, he's a great guy, great personality.
Such a great guy.
Insanely like personable. Everyone loves this dude, and not only that, and then also the first time that I ever got to interview a player, it was Harry Giles. So that was I tried to be a little representative of, you know, the not only just how I want the Kings to do well, how I want Harry Giles to do well, but you know it's been important to me in my life that I've been able to cover basketball. He's the first player I got to interview, and that's meaningful to me. But yeah, as far as what he does on the court, we haven't seen much yet. I mean, like it's 12 minutes maybe total so far this season.
Yeah,
I think he got 8 in Atlanta and probably 4 tonight.
He had a really good 8 in Atlanta.
He did. He had a strong 8. Yeah, he affected a ton of shots in those 8 minutes. Yeah,
and
it felt like more of it, and they were important minutes. Like that was at the end of the third quarter.
Critical moments.
Yeah, when Atlanta came back, almost like a 20-point swing.
Second quarter.
He played 6 minutes in the second quarter,
which were his best
and
minutes.
then a couple minutes in the end of the third when it was like I was surprised to see him come in because he was a little rusty, and he played fine. I mean, like they kept the lead. They built I think a little bit more of the lead back up when Harry was back in. Solid minutes.
One last thing before we get to questions. The defense, that's the one in the game tonight, right? Bielitsa talked about it, and I think everybody was talking about it tonight.
Yeah.
Do you see, because I'm down on defense. I don't think it's sustainable, but do you think it's going to?
I'm with you here. We're going to end on a simpatico note because I think that this was more Portland's offense being floundering a little bit than it was like the Kings shutting them down.
Correct. Me too.
I think Luke is trying to speak this whole thing into existence. I think he's like this team is
it, though.
Yeah, well, no, I get that.
Yeah.
But he's all about this team is making so many big steps defensively. Buddy Hield's making these big steps defensively.
They're trying harder.
Are they? They're trying harder.
Yes.
It's not the results aren't there yet.
Yeah.
The effort is improving, and yeah, I think that's the point.
We got questions? All right, we got questions. Before we get to the questions, man, this is presented by Clan Society Folsom. They're opening up on Thursday, so if you want to go get a workout with your wife, 5 p.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., Clan Society Folsom, you're gonna love it. Reserve your class, download the app's free.
Is that what is it the bikes
it's
spin?
The, full body tower. Okay. So it's similar to a Versa, but it's not because Versa it's all cardio. This is squatting. I mean, you're doing 6 positions, and it's a full body non-impact machine, and you get to do cryotherapy, which is insane.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
6 positions.
6 positions.
Me and my wife know something about that. All right.
6 positions.
let's cut that out.
Might be 7. There is no cutting out here, bro. Let's go. Yeah. So people want to know Yogi or Bogey.
Check.
Bogey.
Yeah. Bogey.
Yeah.
Kings versus Lakers prediction.
Okay, so I'll be there. I'm going as a fan because I haven't been to a game as a fan in years. I feel like I'm gonna take the trip, enjoy it with my brother.
It's a good game to go to.
Let's hope it's competitive. Tickets were expensive, but you know it's a Christmas gift.
Bro, I'm not afraid of the Lakers.
Yeah. No.
No.
I'm not either, but
put Harry on AD. We'll see what's up.
But LeBron gets a lot of. If you guys think Dame gets calls, wait till y'all see LeBron James on Friday. Like this dude gets every single call, the most floppable. I mean, look, De'Aaron Fox does the exact same thing every single game, And my thing is the inconsistencies with the referees. Like, if you're going to call it on Dame, call it league wide. Like, if someone's drawing contact, they call it contact on Lou Williams every time, which is one of the most annoying players in the game to me because he gets every single call. And Dame, respect to my guy, my favorite player, he gets a lot of bull crap calls. So does LeBron. So I don't like the bias from referees.
Do you think that in terms of Fox, do you think that it's intentional from the refs, or is it more that Fox just is going to learn that over the next 5 years, 10 years?
Well, Harrison Barnes really worked on it this offseason, and it shows. Like, he's putting the arms down and he's flopping and he's using
It's an
those
art.
James Harden. It's an art.
It's part of the game, yeah.
And it takes time to learn.
Yeah.
I think Fox is doing a good job. He's just not getting the calls. Buddy does not. That's my guy, but he does not do a good job.
Buddy doesn't get to the line at all, ever.
He just doesn't know how to stop calls yet. I mean, he's trying every game, which has frustrated me about Buddy is that as opposed to stop on the dime, he takes it to the defense in transition and he either gets blocked or turns it over.
Yeah.
But what I think he's doing is he's trying to plant the seed so down the road, 20 games down the road, the refs start calling those calls. I don't know if it's going to work, but if I'm him, he has unlimited range, I would pull on the dime every time.
He's such an amazing shooter, and I get it. Like, I get you. There's no need to really try to penetrate if you've got any kind of an open look. If your buddy healed, I get it. But let's get more than 1.8 free throws a game. It's just we got to find a way to do better in that area. That's my observation for the Kings. I know it, especially with Fox out, who has drawn. Even though, like you say, he's not the master of drawing fouls, he draws a lot of them for this team, and Bagley's the other guy that does. How many times is this team going to get to the line without Bagley and Fox?
And they're both bad free throw shooters.
Yeah, that's true.
They're both. It's got the way to both Bagley and Fox are bad free throw shooters.
Bogey's going to need to get to the line.
Okay.
Who else is going? I mean, you said Barnes, but he's not going to get
Barnes.
a ton of. He's not going to get a ton of work there.
Any other questions?
I think it's safe to say that the Lakers will take more free. That's our hot take. More free throws from the Lakers on Friday than the Kings.
But objective opinion, do you think they're winning?
No.
I don't think so either. I hope I'm wrong. I've been saying the Kings are going to win almost every game, but I don't think they're going to win. I hope I'm so wrong because I want to win that game so bad.
Yeah.
And for the confidence, it's just going to continue their undefeated streak.
I just can't bet on the Kings right now when they're out two of their best two players, and that's kind of nice because what it does is it lowers expectations, lowers pressure on them, which I feel like they're playing a little bit looser now.
Are the Kings better without Fox?
I'll let you answer that. I'm not answering that. All right, no, wait, I'm not answering that. And to be clear, I think Bogey's been, again, Fox is the most talented player on this team, and I just haven't seen that aggressiveness for me to say that. I'm just hard on Fox because I expect so much from De'Aaron. I thought he'd come out guns blazing. And again, he's averaging, 18-9 or 17-9, but I had him at 23-10. I don't know if those are, unrealistic expectations, but I hold him to a high standards, which is why I'm saying that Bogey's the best player today. Barnes has been the most consistent player, I feel like, the first 10 games.
That's fair.
But I just feel like
Belly's the most skilled, though.
He's so good. People disrespect him.
I was saying this the other day.
He's so good, man. That's my guy.
When Buddy was in a really bad shooting slump, Belly was the best shooter on this team for some time, and I think he also might be the best passer on this team.
Such a gifted passer.
He's such a gifted passer.
He tried to actually get Buddy involved so many times.
Belly is so skillful. I want to see more of those Belly to Holmes alley-oops that we saw earlier. Those are my favorite plays of this year so far.
And what I want to see is more of Belly and Bogey working in the pick and roll, pick and pop. I know Belly doesn't like to roll. I mean, a lot of players don't. But if they can do more of a pick and pop.
Yeah, I don't know that he's athletic enough to really roll. To really be that roll guy. I get it, off the roll, but
roll, period. I mean, Bagley's the most athletic guy, and he hates rolling.
When Holmes gets down, when Holmes gets downhill, that's a roll man. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and you're right. Belly's a perfect pop man. So, I mean, Dedmon, you hope could do either, but he's done neither. He's done neither.
Right.
You know.
So, I want to end this on some controversy. I'm going to bring up the Bagley, Luka type stuff.
Oh,
I know both
alright.
you and I were super high on Jaren Jackson. Would you have drafted Jaren Jackson number 2?
Would I personally have
Yeah.
drafted Jaren Jackson number 2?
Over Bagley. I mean, I know both you and I would have drafted Luka, right? Or no, you said no?
No, I didn't say no.
Okay.
I think that it's hard for me.
Yeah.
It's hard for
Your
me
mic too.
to say what I would have done because I would have done a lot more research than I did. I would have seen these guys in person, and I would have had like extensive film sessions on all their work. Can I say now, looking backwards, like what I would have done? It's probably been contaminated by what we've seen.
Mhm.
Can I say for sure who I would have picked at the time? I don't know. Has Luka been better? You betcha. Has Jaren Jackson been better? I mean, he's been healthy. Like, I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair to start comparing Bagley to
Well, he wasn't healthy
Jaren
his rookie
Jackson.
year. I'd say the second half.
But Bagley wasn't that healthy his rookie year. He missed 20 games last year. So, I mean, I don't think it's fair to start making sort of like nitpicky comparisons or ticky tack. Like it's too thin of a margin for me to feel comfortable with
You don't
doing
think
when we haven't seen Bagley this season other than one game.
You don't think Jaren's a better player overall?
I don't think that is significant.
Okay, that's fair.
Luka, we can talk about that some other time. But
Luka's significantly
but
better.
I based on what I've seen, I can't say that there's a significant, meaningful difference between Jaren Jackson and Marvin Bagley's skill level wise now.
That's fair. I just feel like he'd be a better fit. I said it from day one. I had him number 2 on my big board. I had Luka number 1. Just felt he was the best big in the draft, and I think he's going to be a defensive player candidate for a long time. Barring it. I mean, he's so skilled defensively, and the fact that he can extend the floor. Like, people want to talk about fit. Oh, well, Luka wouldn't have been good with Fox. That's fine. But if you're going to go for that, go for the guy that you actually need. And the Kings have needed a guy like that for so many years. Bagley's good at what he does, which is score and rebound.
I will say, though,
I'm just saying, though,
at the time, just for devil's advocate here, at the time, did the Kings know that they had offensive options really nailed down? Because when they made that pick, Fox hadn't made that leap, like for sure. Like Fox was not who we think of Fox as being now.
True.
Buddy didn't make that leap. He was going to be a sixth man. Like he was going to come off the bench.
True.
At the time before Bogey got hurt. Like the Kings didn't think they had an offense. So I don't think they were worried so much about defense. They're like, we need to actually score points. Zach Randolph is leaving. What are we going to do? I know it's a crazy place to think about,
fair.
but it wasn't that long ago.
My only concern or frustration is that they didn't work out anybody but Bagley.
Is that their choice, though? I bet you $1 million that if the Jaren Jackson and Luka Doncic had want to come in here and work out, they would have had him.
Well, Luka couldn't come in here because he was playing in the Final Four still. But
I think Wendell Carter came in here too. But they wanted. Listen,
he didn't work out, though.
They want as many guys
You know
here
what
as
they
they
brought him
want.
in for? To ask him about Bagley, which I thought was disrespectful.
I'm just
Wendell
saying.
Carter is a stud.
I'm just saying it's not that like I don't think it's that the Kings were like no one else is welcome. It's that we get who we can to come work for us, and that probably helped Bagley's case because he was willing to come here and work out.
Yeah.
But I have no reason to believe that Jaren Jackson was snubbed by this team to work out. Like I don't think that's what happened.
Come to the show, bro.
I have one more fan question.
Yeah, we have
If
we
the Kings win more games without Fox, should they trade Fox for Trae Young or Luka?
All right,
yeah.
this interview is so.
All right, Joe. Oh man. LaMelo Ball, here we go.